So we're here today talking with Johnathan Dethloff. He's a guitar teacher on FindaGuitarTeacher.com. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
So maybe you could start by telling us where you're located, what state and what city you're in.
I am currently in Houston, Texas. I've
Hmm.
been here for quite a while. I travel around, and I also teach in outlying regions like Katy and the Woodlands and stuff like that too. But I'm mostly right in the center of Houston.
Understood. And so you travel to your students' homes, or do they also come to you?
It's both all the way around. I like to
Got it.
kind of move my days around. I'll have certain days where I bounce around all day, or once a week I'll travel to Katy, and I like to hit a couple spots along the way, and then
Hmm.
spend a
Hmm.
couple hours out there. So I'm pretty flexible.
Understood. And what's the guitar teaching climate like where you are? Do you find a lot of people want to learn to play guitar?
Yeah, there's quite a few people who want to learn guitar. I mean,
Hmm.
Houston's a big city with all kinds of different people. It's really smaller cities all kind of jammed together into one. So there's a lot of guitar climate for sure. There's other instruments as well, but nothing really competes with guitar. Everybody wants to play guitar.
Of course.
You can't play them.
And what do you find the styles of music that people most want to learn? What do people often request?
It's really versatile, but you get a lot of. I mean, I get a lot of everything really: blues, metal, jazz, what have you. But I think the most prominent one would probably be people that want to learn and play and sing songs with their friends, or a songwriter style. They want to learn to play their favorite songs and sing it at parties or around the campfire or whatever.
Right, makes sense. And do you find you teach more adults or children, or what's the ratio there?
That's pretty even actually. I would say that there's just as many adults as there are children. Just again because I think it's such a big place that there's so many options and so many. There's such a diverse group of people that I get all kinds of people.
And do you have an age requirement for your students? Do you like how young are you willing to teach?
I go pretty young. Usually 5 or 6 would be about the minimum because
Right.
with a younger kid like that, you're not exactly imprinting the knowledge directly on them. You're more kind of getting their mind thinking about music so that they can grow into it.
Of course, of course. And can you tell us a little bit about your overall approach to teaching? What do you like to focus on?
Well, it's I don't like to have really a uniform go-to plan because everybody's different. Everybody likes different things. Everybody
Sure.
likes different kinds of music. Everybody learns at a different pace. One method might click with somebody, whereas another method clicks with another person, or so on. So I
Right.
really like to kind of tailor it as much as I can to the person individually, because nobody wants to sit there and have something essentially shoved in their face that they're not interested in. So you
Right.
got to tailor the knowledge and the theory.
Hmm.
Can be kind of the boring stuff in the beginning. You got to kind of taper it with the fun stuff too. So it's all about getting a feel for what the person likes and who they are and what they like to do, and then go from there and kind of feel it out as we go along.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a very personal process.
Exactly.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit more about your background? You mentioned you travel around a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I started playing at age 9, which was lucky for me because I don't remember being 9 years old. But lucky for me, 9-year-old me decided to start playing music. So I got really, 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 really into it. I took lessons a little bit myself, but for the most part, I was self-taught. And then I would say that most of my experience is self-taught because as soon as I could, as a young teenager, I formed a band and started trying to do everything I could. And since then, I've toured around and played all kinds of big festivals and shows and played with big bands and what have you. So, and once you get a taste of it, it's hard to not want to keep going back to it.
Sure.
So eventually, though, I realized that I kind of wanted to do something during the daytime as well, right? Because unfortunately, being a musician doesn't always pay the best, especially when you're trying to do your own music as opposed to be, a cover band or something like that. So I thought about teaching, and I started when I lived in Austin, and it went really well. And I realized how much fun it was because it was essentially just getting to play music with this person that was just getting into music, and I get to show him how awesome it is and how exciting it is. And it started working really well, so I decided to grow it, and here I am. Now I have 20 plus students, and I love every single one of them. It's
That's
awesome. I
great.
love doing it every day.
That's wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about your fees and your scheduling options? How do you like to work your lessons?
Well, I like to work the scheduling again based on again, everybody's schedule is different, right? So it's important to be flexible, both for the student and the teacher to be flexible, I think, because the important thing is that the person keeps playing and doesn't fall out of it. It's always disappointing every time when somebody new comes along and the sequence doesn't happen just right and they kind of just fall out and give up. It's got to be part of a routine. So it can be really up to the whatever works for the student. You know, I try and push for more because the more you put in, the more you'll get out of it. But usually, you know, once a week I would say is a good minimum. But I do have some that are every other week or twice a week even, or it just really depends. So again, it's very personal. It's all about finding the right sequence of events that gets that person to stick around and really get into it.
That makes sense. Sure.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your equipment? I notice you have a number of guitars there. Can you show us some of your favorite pieces there?
Yeah. It's actually I live with two of my bandmates, so as if one of us individually we didn't have enough equipment already. Now it's just like a mountain of stuff here. But yeah, I mean I have pretty much anything you could possibly need here. And these are only some of the guitars. Another in a room over this way that are just gathering dust.
Yes.
We have we do all our own self-recording. We have all percussion. There's a piano over here you can't see, but basically we have really anything you could possibly imagine. Too much.
Understood. And do you offer guidance to your students about their own equipment purchases?
Yeah, absolutely. Many times I'll go if somebody's a brand new to guitar or whatever instrument it might be. A lot of times I'll offer to go with them somewhere. If online is obviously a good option, but a lot of times people want to walk out of the store with something. So many times I'll offer to go with them, you know, free of charge, just to help them pick out something to get them going for it. And online as well, you know, if they send me a price range or something that they're looking for, I'll happily look up things and send them their way, offer guidance or what have you. So yeah, definitely.
Sure. That's great. Well, listen, we'd love to hear you play guitar just to get a sense of the kind of stuff you like to play, or maybe something that you like to teach.
Sure, yeah. I really teach and have learned and can teach almost any genre. But I would say some of my personal favorites are acoustic fingerstyle, which is a lot of finger picking.
Yes.
I grew up playing blues, a lot of blues and rock, and then moved into a kind of metal phase, and then I'm in this folk kind of phase now. So I've really seen a lot of different colors. But let's see here. So I would say acoustic fingerstyle is one of my favorites. Let's see what we've got. Just a little riff there.
That was cool. That was really beautiful. Thank you for playing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to seeing you on Find a Guitar Teacher in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.